Hello fellow traders. I wanted to create a small video on WOW trades again because this morning when I was analyzing a pair, the dollar HUF on the monthly chart and weekly charts to add it to my daily account, I realized that this pair showed a lot of WOW trade setups following the rules, and I think it was a great idea to go through all the setups that worked, and some that could be triggered in the future, and analyze what we should do, waiting on the higher time frames areas for new levels of demand or supply, and then patient to wait for that and take all the trades that happen because they are higher probability. So let me show you this pair. Okay, this is all the history I have. I did have just a few candles over here on my broker, so I loaded FX Pro and imported the rest of the candles here. Okay, I just had this area I think until 2000 August or something like that, so over here. So let me see here. As you can see, now the monthly is in consolidation, but let's start over here. I'll do a quick view what happened over here. We don't have any history, so this is the lowest low and this is the highest high in history. So we have a rally based on a drop. As you can see, supply area over there that reacted after. This was the first WOW trade, okay, and worked really well. Then it dropped, created a CP pattern, drop base drop, rallied and fill gap, perfect trade, then drop again. Another area over here, rally base drop, and then as you can see another trade there, and this area was very weaky as you can see, and then keep on dropping, and then another CP and all that. So after all this overextension, we have all this. Look at that. So when we do have price doing all that, it is not high probability to sell there. We could have waited for since this level is quickie and a reaction to this, we have to wait for confirmation over here. Then the trend line would be broken, so here confirmation, maybe one loss or something on the daily, but it is not high odds to sell over here. It is all compressed all the way down. It's a very efficient drop. Okay, so levels, this is a reaction to this, as you can see. This is a reaction to this one, and then to this one, and then all that. So here it rallied like a rocket, and then dropped. It even removed this area of demand, that this removed this area of supply, and then this is a WOW trade on the monthly. You see, then price dropped. Maybe this is a 61% Fibonacci, I'm not sure, but it looks like around there. Okay, very big drop, and then rallied. Okay, rallied, hit that area of supply, then dropped, and this area of demand over here worked a little bit, okay, for some time. It was counter trend, and then where did it rally into? On this area of supply. Okay, you can see drop base drop, and the monthly trend was broken. You had removed one area of demand, and the WOW trade was working, playing out. So that is the trade. Where did it drop? Here, on this area of demand. That removed this supply over here, that removed this demand. So price dropped over there and then rallied. Okay, again, so this area of demand, this little wick there, high wave candle dodgy, remove this area of supply over there, and it's been holding there for ages, as you can see, for ages. So there have been quite a few trades over here. As you can see, this is a WOW trade that worked. Okay, this is a WOW trade that has not happened yet, and this is another one that hasn't happened yet for the future. So that may take a few months, but they are higher probability. Okay, so I just have it on my charts. This is the first time I analyze this pair. So now let's drop to the monthly, to the weekly. Sorry, the monthly is in consolidation. This is a weekly monthly trend line, rally base drop, make a lower low here. As you can see, my computer is a little bit slow now. So as you can see, made a lower low, so we do have the trend line has been broken, so monthly is in consolidation and ranging between these areas of supply and demand. It's ranging between all these areas. Okay, So as you can see here is a very important thing here. Look at this. No monthly candle could close underneath these areas. You see, a wick, no close underneath those areas. So it's a strong support, okay, caused by this demand area. So now let's switch to the weekly. So the weekly, as you can see here on the monthly, we do have on the weekly we do have this monthly area of demand. Okay, so price drop, rally, base, drop. Okay, rally, base here. Sorry, drop, base, rally, then dropped into this area of demand, and then rallied again. Okay, and all that. So this trend line here on the weekly, I didn't draw this, but you will see what I mean. Look at that, was broken. Okay, so this is a wow trade that worked, as you can see. Okay, two valleys allows me to draw this trade. This was a supply area on the monthly, so a wow trade on the weekly needs a higher time frame than the weekly, that is the monthly, in order to be valid, or a flip zone and higher time frame. So this is the trade, worked, dropped, and now we hit a higher time frame than the weekly. Okay, this is trading consolidation. So here we hit the monthly, which is depicted on the chart here with these blue trail lines, horizontal trail lines. It dropped. Okay, once we hit the monthly area of demand, I'll draw these trail lines like that just to look for wow trades, because now we are at a fresh area of demand on the monthly first time. So we wait for that weekly area wow trade, see, and then it rallies, and this area of demand on the weekly has been held. It's not 2-to-1, but I'm just trying to show you how this works. Okay, so then it rallied because wow trades first time they hit higher time frame areas, and the weekly and the daily we may not get 2-to-1, but they sometimes work. I've taken some of them, like the Aussie Gen short and others, in the recent future, in the recent recently. Okay, sorry, I got mixed there, and they work really well if they are fresh, but it shouldn't be the way we do it always. We have to know where we are, how fresh the areas are, and all that. So it rallied, and then this is the wow trade playing out, and then dropped. Okay, rally base drop, 2-to-1, rally into the area because the monthly was in control, then weekly areas are high probability, and then drop, base, drop, another CP, rally into the area, and worked. Now dropped again into the monthly area of demand. We stop trading shorts, only in confirmation if we want to be a little bit aggressive. So price, once we hit a monthly area of demand, normally what I do is I wait for price to penetrate it a little bit lower, because this area of demand over here has been consumed already. So the only non-tradable areas are underneath this area over there. So I have to wait for a lower price for confirmation. Okay, so wait for confirmation. So it hits that area, as you can see, drops lower, and then rallies again, breaks the descending trend line on the weekly after hitting the monthly area of demand, and then hits that area and rallies and hits, and rallies strongly from there, breaking these supply zones, and hits this area there, which is the retest of that area. Okay, price hits that area again and then drops again, creating, this could be another trend line up after several CP patterns, and this wow trade is not yet playing out, hasn't played out yet. My laptop is doing strange things now, so this is something like that. Okay, so it didn't happen yet. Okay, so now price drops, all this is compressed, drops, it gave a trade over here and all that, and then retested this area again and again and again, and this area has been holding over and over and over. So now we do have this trend line over here, it hits that area almost lower on the monthly, creates the imbalance, removes supply, drops again after 3-to-1 maybe or more, and then rallied again. It couldn't close above this area, and now price is rejecting again this monthly area of supply, creating lower lows, new areas of supply, and now it's ranging here on the weekly. Okay, it's ranging. So this is what we do on the higher time frame. We will wait for these big imbalances. It can be a lot of days sometimes, but it is worth it. Okay. In the meantime, you can also trade a lower time frames on the 4-hour and all that. I mean, I'm just doing a bigger time frame analysis so that you understand how this works in a better way. But on these exotic pairs, since there is not so much volatility, I'm trading only on the daily. Okay, because lower time frame levels tend to be overshot easily. Then they work, but overshot. And I feel more comfortable trading the dailies with the higher time frame trend. I can trade more pairs like that as well. So I'm trading a lot of 4-hour currencies, instruments, but on the exotics I'm only trading the daily imbalances. So now let's take a look at the daily imbalances and see how we even lower our time frame to the dailies, and you will see how in this consolidation the daily wow trades work. Okay, so we hit the first time this rally over there on the weekly and monthly. This is the monthly area of demand. When we hit a monthly area of demand, we wait for a daily, at least a daily demand area. Okay, go there, and we have to wait. We hit that monthly area of demand. Okay, let me show you on the monthly. For the first time, it rallies, it makes a higher high here, and then drops into a fresh area of demand. Okay, monthly against monthly, so that's okay. So we hit the daily. Look at this. So when we hit the daily area of the monthly area of demand, you can see this is the trend line that we have. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, something like that. That might have been a 4-hour trade over there, but I'm not sure about it. I'm not gonna concentrate now on the 4-hour. But oops, sorry. Look at this over here. We've got a level over there. Okay, price didn't pull back into that level for a few pips, and then rallied. Okay, this area of supply here has been holding. Remove this area of supply where it was moved to the last month high over there, and then after that, okay, trend is like this, so we cannot go long here. We have to go to the origin of the whole move. This is the wow trade on the daily, nested within a weekly and monthly area from the first time, and look at the imbalance. Okay, there was no pullback here, no pullback here, no pullback here, no pullback here. Okay, and after a long big rally, okay, then the trend line was solidly broken again. Okay, but the trade was right there. Okay, this is the first one, and now price starts dropping. Okay, and as you can see here, drop base drop. It didn't pull back into the area in the rally trade base drop, a small CP here nested within this zone, and then hit that area and dropped. Okay, and then price hit that area over there. I don't know if there is a weekly area of demand there. I'm just trying to concentrate on how to wait for confirmation on the higher time frames areas. So let me try and see what this area is. To see something here. Yellow. And now the weekly. There was the retest of this monthly of this weekly area of demand, and very close to the monthly area, almost hit the monthly area proximal line. So there, very close, but price was there or there. Yep. Now the trend line is broken, and then another level there that breaks and removes this area of supply, and there is a confirmation there, and then rallies again. Okay, and then we do have this trend over there. Okay, was broken there, and then price drops. a lot of gaps here. Okay, and now we are waiting for confirmation again. Let me just remove all this on the monthly. I just want to show you how the monthly confirmation works. Minimum daily area of demand. So price now hits again the monthly area of demand. Okay, let me move all this over here. We hit the monthly area of demand there. Okay. So here we have rally, base, drop, base, drop, base, drop, several patterns there. Okay, but we have 1 and 2 only CP patterns. So we cannot draw the trend line aggressively. So this is what we have. Okay, there on the daily. This area worked a little bit, but it was too aggressive. We wait for the area of demand to be hit again over there, and then you see that now we do have a rally base drop, another peak, 2 peaks, CP pattern, and it goes lower. It penetrates the level lower. Okay, over there. You see a little bit lost here. 1 sec. We were there, goes lower, and then it creates another weekly area of demand, as we could see. So once the area of demand is created on the weekly, first of all was created on the daily as well. Okay, but we were waiting a bigger penetration, so the weekly area is not drawn there, but it's around there. All this, okay, all this, as you can see there. Let me place the yellow line at the proximal line, right there, as you can see. Okay, so here, once we hit that area, since the weekly is fresh, is not fresh, sorry, we have to wait for the opposing area to be removed or trend line to be broken. So that doesn't happen. Okay, the rule doesn't happen until here. Okay, the trend line is broken, the weekly area of demand is not fresh, so we have to wait for the opposing area to be removed. Okay, and the trend line being broken for more conservative trading. Okay, and then here this is what you have. Okay, and then rally base rallies, it almost pulled back into the level there. With that gap, it's difficult to trade, so maybe if you make it wider, then you get a trade. Okay, and then the trend line here is broken, so you cannot trade the levels unless it is double at the solid break of the trend line. So here we do have a trade, as you can see there, and then rallies from there, stops there, and then drops again and drops a little bit lower again. Okay, into this level. We wait for confirmation there. Okay, again, and until then, see here, let me show you over there. Like that. So now what we do have is this. This is rally base drop, makes a lower low, and this little CP is taking control within the monthly and weekly area of demand. So price rallies again, but it doesn't remove anything, and then once this starts rallying, we get all these areas of demand on the way up over there. Let me take a look at the weekly. It's important to see what the weekly was doing there. Again, as you can see, okay, this is a weekly area of demand playing out. Still the wow trade playing out on the weekly, so you are allowed to go long. Okay, because the monthly was still up. New areas of demand, wow trade long, so that there have been nested areas of wow trade longs within the weekly area of demand the wow trade also on the weekly and the monthly. Okay, so here on the 4-hour, I'm sure there were a couple of trades over there. On the daily, at the solid break of the trend line over here, price was held in for ages. Okay, it couldn't make it down to the extreme. It just stopped here at this daily area of demand, and then from there it retested and then rallied, drop, and then rallied again. So here there was created a new area of demand, but price didn't pull back. Another area of demand, which is sitting right at the flip zone. Okay, so this is an area of demand sitting right at the flip zone there. So price was overextended over there, as you can see, overextended, and then dropped, created a weekly area of demand up there, and then retested. Is a lot of trading in the zone. Then this CP strong area over there, very wide. Price reacted that, almost reacted to that area, and then kept on dropping. So this is the weekly area of supply working, as you can see. Okay, the weekly area of supply after the daily was overextended. There, weekly area of supply, engulfing, dark cloud cover, engulfing. So a lot here, a dark cloud cover again, another engulfing. So once we get engulfing on the weeklies and the dark cloud covers on the monthly as well, price has been overextended. It's very likely that price is going to go south. Okay, go down. So once we are there, we can see the weekly areas there, but there were weekly areas over here, weekly area over here, weekly areas over here. So price is reacting to those areas. So we can see in the nested areas, but there were trades here on the way down. Okay. So here is another CP, but not to 1 and all that. So price kept on dropping, and then hit that monthly area of demand again, and then rallied again, removing this area of supply on the daily, as you can see over there. Sorry. So now we do have a brand new wow trade there on the daily, and then it worked for some time over there. Okay, price didn't remove these areas, and then dropped again even lower. Okay, even lower. Trend line broken over there. It hit a nested area of demand down there. There was no entry over here, as you can see. Very strong. And then this is the area where price dropped in after a long time, but it was not at the extreme. But if this was a weekly area of demand, then we could have traded it, but I'm not sure. I think it was a weekly area of demand. Yes, look at that. So this is a valid trade. Why? Because price drops into a monthly area of demand, was used up, okay, several times, and then dropped into that area, as you can see. Again, on the weekly, this is what it does. It creates a wow trade. Okay, again, was here, sorry. It creates another wow trade here. This is a weekly area of demand, and that daily area of demand CP is at the proximal line on the weekly area of demand. So that is a valid trade. Okay, fresh area of demand at a new area of demand on the weekly. Look at the big imbalance. So that area, yeah, well, let me check out this. Yeah, there it is. This is a valid trade over here, that one there. And then I was talking about this one. I got mixed here, so many candles and charts. So we were talking about this area. Let me take a look at this, if this was a trade or not. That was another one there. Yeah, you can see, there was a one here, the weekly area of demand, daily area of demand nested at the proximal line, and here we got a lower low here, penetrated the level of demand lower, and then rallied again, removing even supply. Okay, because it's a used up area, so we need that to happen. So it happens there, and then drops again and drops to the proximal line. Do we have a level, a good level at the proximal line? Fresh level of demand, yes or not? So we're gonna look here, over there, which is the one that caused the break of the trend line, and then the bottom, but it rallied there. So that is the level, okay? And then rallied. This level never pulled back. Price never pulled back to that level, okay? It almost did to this level over there, and then rallied over there, okay? This trade was working a little bit for some time, but it was not valid, only in confirmation of the 4 hour. And then once we hit a monthly area of supply, then prices started to drop. This area is not good because it is rallied into the area without consolidating away. They made a high would have been a loss, so but the rule prevented us from taking it, would have prevented us from taking it. So this one made a lower low there, was consolidating all the time, so maybe on the 4 hour up there. So price didn't make a lower low, and now it did make a lower low, and here it did make a lower low and then rally into the area, and then make a lower low and rally into the area, made a lower low but not pull back into the area, dropped, pulled back into the area, and then was ranging a little bit, and then dropped again in the monthly area of demand. It didn't reach this area of demand. Okay, so this is how this is working with the high time frames. Okay, remember we have other entry time frames on 4 hour and even the 1 hour for those that are doing intraday. Not recommended on these kind of exotic pairs, but trading on the 4 hour and daily is fine. Daily is even better, but as you can see, these wow trades work really well if you are patient enough. So when you are trading like 30 or 40 pairs in this way on the daily, when you are on holidays or you don't have too much time for intraday and all that, this could be a nice way to trade. Okay, so here you can see how a monthly area of demand in consolidation against a monthly area of supply here, both of them used up, can be traded waiting for the new imbalances on the daily. Okay, even on the weekly as well. So if this area of demand on the monthly is removed, then we will have selling big time. Okay, so here I believe this is a 50% or 60% retracement. Yeah, look at that, 50% retracement from that, and then that is right where the monthly candle could not close. So this is a lot of robots trading there, big boys. So now prices is rallying again. I could rally again all the way up. This is not a dark cloud cover, but this is a cloud cover almost engulf. So it's very difficult to trade this. So we need to concentrate on the daily, on the fresh levels and original levels. So up here confirmation, up here could be nice, up down there would be nice. Okay, and if this trail line is broken, we could have some trading here on the daily on the way down here. Okay, the weekly wow trade is playing out right now as well. Okay, remember this one over there is playing out, and then this weekly area of demand now is in control. After this is the next level created after the weekly wow trade long has been playing out. Okay, so now we do have this ascending trail line over there still holding. So this is like a pennant pattern. So we're gonna wait and see what happens over here. Okay, but it could be a few things happening. So we need to daily direction going down here or removing this area, but this is a brick wall here. It's a lot of trading could be easily removed, but it's not going to do it like that. Probably it's going to hold for some time and drop and all that, and that one could work and that one could work. So hopefully you will have understood a little bit more better how and when to wait for confirmation. So when we have a higher time frame area like the monthly, we have to wait at least for a daily area of demand. If you look for wow trades to happen, then you're going to have a lot of fake setups because when we are at a monthly and price starts to consolidate on the weekly for 1, 2, or 3 candles, okay, then it is going to be very likely that the 4-hour trade is gonna levels are gonna give you a lot of possible setups, but they are not good setups most of the time, because they are lower time frames, and if you go to the 1 hour, even less, sorry, and if you go to the 50-minute or 30-minute, even less. So you need to see some good imbalance, at least on the daily, when you are on a high time frame than the monthly. On the weekly, if it is fresh and original, 4-hour was good, but if it is the daily, it's even better. And if it is a daily area of demand, then waiting for a 4-hour or 1 hour imbalance or wow trade is fine. But the higher the time frame, the bigger the wow trade time frame that you have to be leaning on in order to have a higher probability trade. Okay, so this is it. Hopefully you understood much better how this wow trade thing works. This is not the best example, because there's a lot of consolidation. It is a good way to look for a good scenario where to wait for wow trades, but I mean, it's not the best instrument to look at the wow trades, because it's not that volatile as like euro, the pound, or the kiwi and all that. But as you can see, they work no matter which instrument you are using. Okay, you just have to be patient enough. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.